heck out of Corey Arnold. He's an amazing coach. The stuff that he does with those girls, I mean, I would just love to get in his playbook and just swim around in that for a couple years. But because he's really, really good, and his players are really good. What I'm proud about with my girls is that they don't play for stats. They play for the W. And if one of them's scoring, the other one's happy. Some of them are happy to get the assist. Others are happy to get the rebound. They are a true team that just gets along, and I'm just proud to be sitting here among these girls. This is their senior year, and this is their 4th time to make it to the top 28. And that speaks volumes for a 5A school. And it's, people pick with me about coaching and all that stuff, but you see, I have a lot of coaches, and these girls right here, without their hard work and their leadership, we couldn't do what we do. So I'm just proud to be here. I don't know how I got so blessed, but I'm going to take it.
Talk a little bit about the fourth quarter. I mean, they kind of had you on the ropes there, and then it was kind of like the tide turned. I don't know whether somebody flipped a switch or did you tell them anything special? Or
well, to be honest with you, Coach Gill sits right on my right-hand side, and she said, hey, we got to increase the intensity. And one thing that we have been scared about all year is that we don't have a real lot of kids on the bench we have a lot of young kids on the bench, right, is what I should say. And I have Morgan Watkins, who just got back from an ACL tear. And she's, not half a step slow. She's a little quicker than a half a step slow, but she's getting better and better every time she gets out there. And that fourth quarter, Christy was like, let's increase the intensity. And I was like, okay, Diamond? And she was like, yeah. So we went to our press, and they started getting a couple turnovers. And then I was like, okay, well, we're good enough. Got to rest a little bit. And then this one looks at me, and she goes, Diamond? I went, no, go. And she kind of went, looked at me like I was silly. And I looked at Christy, and Christy said, yeah. And I went, Diamond? And they went, and it was turnover, then turnover, then turnover. Mm-hmm. And, it just started to flow at that point, and increased our intensity. And they saved enough to complete the game at the end. So I'm just proud of them.
How much of it was nerves, Coach? I mean, settling down. It feels like those first 3 quarters, there were so many makeable shots, but it felt like in the fourth quarter, there was a calmness that came upon your team.
Yes, sir. I mean, one thing I do try to tell them all the time is that, ladies, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. The plays are working. You're getting the shots right under the goal. We're just missing them. And we're not embracing the contact when we go in, and so we're not getting the fouls called. We're shying away right before the contact. And so once the girls started doing that, and we started looking at different options on plays, and then he had them doubling this kid. And I mean, he's great. He's a great coach. And so just things weren't opening, but when we started pushing the ball up faster and not letting them set up in their 2-3, we got some success out of that.
Coach,
16-4 in the fourth quarter. You hold them to 22% shooting in the fourth. Yeah. You had a lot of wins, but just that one quarter, those final 8 minutes, it's got to be one of the more memorable sequences of your coaching career.
Yes, sir. These guys right here, they've been like going at it. This one, Coach, we're not going down without a fight. We're not going down without a fight. And that's kind of the mentality they've been having. And when we got that fourth quarter and we were still in the game, I think we got down by 8 at one point, but then we kept chipping back at it, and they just kept fighting, and their desire in their eyes never went away. So it was just, I knew they had it in them, and I was just trying to be calm because I don't want to be the person that gets them where they can't shoot and make a free throw. And they just stepped up and did what they had to do. They made the free throws at the end. They got the steals. They made the layups. So I was really proud of them. And then when we stalled it at the end, this one was coming over early. Coach, when are we going to stall it? When are we going to stall it? And she goes, at a 4-point lead? And I'm like, well, it depends. It might be a 1-point lead, might be a 2-point lead. And then you saw we failed on that one time. And we were trying to pass over the top, and they're just too long to do that. But they came back, and they just kept going. So I'm proud of them.
Coach.
Yeah, I know you're proud of your seniors, and they've been your leaders for 4 years here. But I tell them, Chris, all night, a star was born, Alyssa Hiller.
Oh, my word. If I could have had 5 players, she would have been sitting down there,
18
too.
points, she led you tonight. Talk about her. I know she's not here, right?
Yes, sir. Alyssa, she's a sophomore, like you said, and she has the go. She loves the game. I think she only started playing in her 7th grade year, and so she has leaps and bounds to improve. But she's one of those kids that can get to the paint, and she has the size that she can shoot over some of those bigs and get rebounds. And without her, we don't have the same speed that we have when she's on the court. But she was on the team last year as a freshman. She was on our varsity team, and she got lots of minutes doing that. So.
What about scheme-wise, when they came out in the 2-3 zone, were you surprised by that?
I was very surprised. Corey Harley runs a 2-3. I thought it was a great move. Obviously, we didn't prepare for that. We go through all our plays, but that wasn't anything that we really focused on. So, obviously, we worked on the press break, worked on the 1-2-2 stuff. Man, we were looking good with the 1-2-2 stuff. I agree. We had some really good stuff that I will have to save for next year, but or against Parkway. But but the girls knew their plays, and I always try to ask them too, what do y'all feel comfortable running? And so at times they'll say something, and I go, okay, let's do it. And then it works or not or whatever, and we just go with it. So.
Scheme-wise, again, timeout, minute 30 left. Your ball, sideline out of bounds. You're up by 1. You know they're going to come out in their purple or their half-court trap. What's your message to the girls there before y'all go out and score a layup?
Protect the ball, and we were only shooting layups only at that point, and to keep the ball low, not to try to throw over them. Dribble a couple of times if you need to get through it. All week we worked on splitting their traps too. So when they come up, we try to step through it and push through and go, So we worked on stuff like that. And so we just had to take care of the ball and make your free throws.
Talk about Amaya. I mean, the growth she's made from role player to telling you to run the diamond press. And
I love it. I love it. Well, Amaya running the point for me. Last year she got these two started for me last year, but these two got a whole lot of time. And when we would change our press, we'd go to that run and jump with them because they're so fast. But the maturity that Amaya has shown this season of running that point and listening, getting to the paint, passing when she needs to pass, taking the shot when she needs to take that, she's amazing. She's been running that point really well. And last year, I believe our point guard last year had some struggles. And so Amaya got in those games a lot and got a lot of time.